Hello my dear children, so I am back with the second video of the video series on cubes and cube roots class 8 maths, and in this video we are going to learn about the prime factorization method and the estimation method to find out cubes and cube roots of numbers. So are we all ready? Let's get started. So now that we have learned about cubes, let's talk about cube roots. So now this is no more new to you because you have already learned about square roots in the previous lesson. So in a very similar manner, cube root is the inverse operation of cubes. For example, let's say that if you want to get 8 from 2. So if you want to get 8 from 2, what do? You multiply 2 3 times. That is, you cube 2. So 2 cube is 8. Similarly, if you want to get 2 from 8, so you want to obtain 2 from 8. So what will you do with 8? So if you cube 8, you will get 8 into 8 into 8, which is 64. So what will you do so that you get 2 from 8? So in that case, you do cube root of 8. So 2 cube gives 8, but cube root of 8 gives 2. So that means both are inverse operations. So just like squares and square roots are also inverse operations. Similarly, cube and cube roots are inverse operation. So all of these, when you look at these, you see that whenever you want to get 1 from 1, you cube it. You want to get 8 from 2, you cube 2. You want to get 27 from 3, you cube 3. So their inverse function would be somewhat like this. That is, you want to get 1 from 1, you cube root 1. You want to get 2 from 8, so you cube root 8. You want to get 3 from 27, so you cube root 27. You want to get 4 from 64, so you cube root 64, and so on. So in this fashion, we see that cube root is the inverse function of cube. And this symbol is called cube root, and it is read also as cube root. So now the question is, how do we find cube root of a perfect cube? So how do we find cube root of a perfect cube? So our first option still remains the same prime factorization method. So let's take an example. Let us suppose that you have this number 175616, quite a big number, and you have to find out its cube root. So what do? We prime factorize the number. So the first number that would divide it completely is 2. So 2 8s are 16, 2 7s are 14, 2 8s are 16, 2 8s are 16. So 2 4s are 8, 2 3s are 6, 2 9s are 18, 2 4s are 8. Again, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, 2 9s are 18, 2 5s are 10, 2 2s are 4. So in this fashion, you continue the prime factorization. So 2 5s are 10, 2 4s are 8, 2 8s are 16, 2 8s are 16. So once you complete its prime factorization, what do you see? That this number 175616 can be written as 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So product of 9 2's, 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2. So 9 2's and 3 7's. Now let's group it into groups. Now divide it into groups of 3. So 3 2's together, again 3 2's together, these 3 2's together, and 3 7's together. So this can be written as 2 cube into 2 cube into 2 cube into 7 cube. So this can be written as 2 into 2 into 2 into 7 cube. So this is 2 2's are 4, 4 2's are 8, 8 7's are 56. So this would be 56 cube. That means 175616 is equal to 57 cube. So its inverse function would be cube root of 175616 is equal to 56. So 56 is the answer. Let us look at the second method of finding cube root of a perfect cube, and the second method is estimation method. So this is a simple 3-step process which helps us to estimate the value of cube root. So let us take the same number, that is the same cube root. So we have to find out the cube root of 175616. So just now we have found the cube root of this number using the prime factorization method. So let's look at this method now. So we will go step by step. So the first step is that take the number, divide it into groups of 3 digits and start this division from the units digit. So this is 6 is the units digit. So start from 6, groups of 3. So these are the 2 groups that are formed. Let us call this group 1. Let us call this group 2. So that's your step number 1. Step number 2, units digit of group 1 decides the units digit of the cube root. So in step 2, we focus only on group 1. So here group 1 is 616. Now focus on the units digit of group 1. So units digit is 6. Now for any number whose units digit is 6, the last digit of the cube root would be how much? We know that 6 cube is equal to 216. So any number ending with 6, its cube also ends with 6, right? So that means here the units digit is 6, therefore the units digit of the cube root would also be 6. Perfect. Now in step number 3, the units digit of the perfect cube that is smaller than group 2 forms the tens digit of the cube root. So now we will focus on group 2, which is 175. Now here we have to find out a perfect cube which is less than or equal to 175. So let us look at the first few perfect cubes. 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8, 3 cube is 27, 4 cube is 64, 5 cube is 125, 6 cube is 216. So 216 is greater than 175. So it will not do. So what is that value which is less than 175? That is 125. So 125 is the value which is less than 175. Now focus on the units digit of 125. So units digit is 5. So this 5 will become the tens digit of the cube root. So the cube root of this number will be 56. And this is exactly the same result that we obtained by the prime factorization method. So here you would have seen that we did not do any multiplication or division or factorization. We just did a kind of estimation. So that is why it is called estimation method. So let us try one more cube root with the estimation method. So let's say we have to find out the cube root of 110592. So let's do it step by step. So in step 1, we form the groups of the number. So 110592. So 2 is the units digit. So from this side, you divide it into groups of 3. So this is group 1, this is group 2. Now in step number 2, what do? We focus on group 1. So group 1 is 592. Units digit of group 1 is 2. So if any number has 2 at the end, what would be its cube? So normally we have learned that any number ending with 2, its cube would end with 8, right? So therefore, the units digit of the cube root would be 8. Fine. Now let's move on to step 3. So in step 3, we focus on group 2. So group 2 is 110. So we need to find out a perfect cube which is less than or equal to 110. So we know that 3 cube is 27, 4 cube is 64, 5 cube is 125. So 125 is greater than 110. So that will not do. So 64 would do because 64 is less than 110. Now let's focus on the units digit of 64. That is 4. Therefore 4 would be the tens digit here. So 48 would be the cube root of 110592. So based on whatever we have learned about cube roots, let's try a few questions. Question number 1. State true or false. Cube of any odd number is even. Well, that is absolutely false because if you look at any odd number, be it 1 cube, it is 1 which is odd. Whether it is 3 cube, it is 27 which is again odd. If it is 5 cube, it is 125 which is again odd. So cube of any odd number is always odd. So this is definitely false. A perfect cube does not end with 2 zeros. Well, that's true. Why? Because if think of any example of a perfect cube which ends with 2 zeros. For example, 100. Do you think 100 could be a perfect cube? Now, when you have 2 zeros, So it can never be a product of three same numbers. So 100 could be 10 into 10, so two numbers. So it could be a square, perfect square, but it cannot be a perfect cube. But when it comes to 1000, it can be a product of same three numbers, with each number having 1 0. So definitely a perfect cube can never have two zeros. A perfect cube will always have the number of zeros which are in multiples of threes. For example, it can have 3 zeros, it can have 6 zeros, it can have 9 zeros, it can have 12 zeros. So the number of zeros must be in multiples of 3, because you need same number of zeros to be divided into three numbers, because all the three numbers need to be the same. So this is true. Number 3, if a square of a number ends with 5, then its cube ends with 25. Well, square of now any number ending with 5, its square will end with 5. Again, its cube will also end with 5. But when you say that the cube would end with 25, so that's not really true. So this is a false statement, because this is not necessarily true. Let me give you some examples. For example, 15 square is equal to 225. So square of 15 ends in 5. But when you find out 15 cube, it is 3375. This also ends in 5, but not 25. So square of a number ending with 5 ends with 5. Cube of a number ending with 5 also ends with 5. There is no perfect cube which ends with 8. Well, that's again false, because if you look at the cubes of number 2, so 2 cube is 8. So 8 is a perfect cube. Similarly, 12 cube is equal to 1728. So 1728 is also a perfect cube. Similarly, if you look at 42 cube, that is equal to 74088. So this also ends in 8. So any number ending with 2, its perfect cube will end with 8. So perfect cubes can definitely end with 8. The cube of a 2-digit number may be a 3-digit number. Okay, so let's talk about the 2-digit number. So which is the smallest 2-digit number that you know? So the smallest 2-digit number that you know is 10. So when you cube 10, how much do you get? 10 into 10 into 10, that is 1000. So even for the smallest 2-digit number, its cube is a 4-digit number. So cube of a 2-digit number can never be a 3-digit number, because below 10 you do not have any 2-digit number. So if 10's cube itself is 1000, which is a 4-digit number, so for greater 2-digit numbers, the number of digits will also be more, they will not be less. So this statement is false. The cube of a 2-digit number may have 7 or more digits. Now let's look at the higher side. So what is the largest 2-digit number possible? So the largest 2-digit number would be 99. So if you find out the cube of 99, it is 970299, which is a 6-digit number. So that means the cube of a 2-digit number starts with 4-digit number up to 6-digit number. So the cube of a 2-digit number can be a 4-digit number, can be a 5-digit number, can be a 6-digit number, but not more than that. So therefore this statement is also false. The cube of a single-digit number may be a single-digit number. Yes, very much possible. If you look at 1 cube is 1. You look at 2 cube is 8. So 1 is a single-digit number. 8 is a single-digit number, 2 is also a single-digit number. So it is quite possible that cube of a single-digit number is also a single-digit number. Question number 2. You are told that 1331 is a perfect cube. Can you guess without factorization what is its cube root? So obviously if you are asked not to factorize, you will go with the estimation method. So let's look at it step by step. Step 1, take the number. Find its units digit, it's 1. So start from this side and divide it into groups of 3. So this is your group 1, which has 331, and this is your group 2, which has only 1, because there is nothing more on this side. Okay, so in step 2, we focus on group 1, which is 331. And what is the units digit? Unit digit is 1. And cube of 1 always ends with 1. So therefore, when you talk about cube root of 1331, the results units digit would be 1. Okay. In step 3, we focus on group 2. So here group 2 is 1. So we will have to find out a perfect cube which is less than or equal to 1. So we know that 1 cube is equal to 1. So 1 is the perfect cube which is equal to 1. And what is its units digit? Its units digit is 1. So therefore 1 will become the 10th digit. So cube root of 1331 is equal to 11. So in this fashion we can find cube root by estimation method.
I hope you found the video useful, and if you really understood the concept well, do write in the comment section that concept hua crystal clear. And I will see you all very soon with a new topic and a new video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.